well as gentlemen, Papa Boris is back for some more Hearthstone arena action. I swear to freaking God, the last 4 arenas in a row, two of my 3 choices were Warrior and Druid. This is like the 4th arena in a row. Now, I actually had 2 Warrior runs off camera. They were both really, really bad and quite depressing. I had one that goes to 6 wins, one that goes to 4, but a lot of that was play errors. And I do want to show you guys a video of the Warrior after the patch, now that Battler Rage has been nerfed. Let's give the Warrior one more shot before we call it a day with the Warriors. Okay, so here we have a choice of a rare. These are all decent cards. I find Gadgets and Auctioneers a bit slow and kind of unpredictable when you're a Warrior, when you're not like a rogue with your cheap spells that you can trigger off of it really reliably. Abomination can sometimes hold the fort. I think I actually like it more than Mortal Strike, so we're going to go ahead and pick up the Abomination. Alright, here we'll take Heroic Strike. It is removal, so we'll be happy to have it. Wrathy Weaponsmith is a superb creature. There was one game in a previous video, you might remember, where I just lost because my opponent did nothing all game except play that on turn 4, and it was enough to win. Here we'll take the Silverhand Knight. He drops a lot of power and toughness onto the board. I think I like him better than this mediocre removal card. Here we can get a 1-drop or Slam. Slam is fine, so you can draw a card, which means that if you're 2 for 1-ing against your opponent, so you play Slam and another card to kill a creature, it's not actually card disadvantage, because the first card, the Slam, draws you a card. So it's nice to have that so that you have some outs against tricky situations. Do I take another Wrathy Weaponsmith? They're really bad in multiples. I think we'd actually rather have... I don't want to have 2 of them. Let's actually get the Razorfin Hunter. Get some swarm action onto the board in case we see some Frostwolf Warlords later on. Execute is a really good card with Slam. It's a card I often find myself wishing I had, or praying that Warriors don't have. Now, some people really trash this card and say it's bad. But anytime there's a card where you're like always hoping to draw it, or you're always hoping your opponent doesn't have it, it actually is pretty good. I think I'm going to take it there. I could get another Heroic Strike, or a beefy 5-drop. I'll take another Heroic Strike. It's good for finishing off your opponent. It's good for killing creatures. Here we got to choose between the 4-6 and a 5-5. So they both have the same stats total. This guy costs 1 mana less, and the Enrage can be really good if you have a weapon in play. So with that being considered, let's go ahead and grab this Spiteful Smith there. Frothing Berserker just wins games. I think it's even better than the Questing Adventurer. The Violet Teacher is nice, but nowhere near on the power level of the Frothing Berserker. Alright, Dread Corsair is cool because he's cheap if you get a weapon, but the Warsong Commander wins games. We're going to go ahead and pick her up. I think I'll grab, among these 3 kind of crappy creatures, the Taunt. Sometimes Taunt is just, really nice to have to save yourself. Don't have any weapons yet other than what the Wrathy Weaponsmith gives me, so this is too risky. It's too likely to be generic. We'll take this as a quasi-removal card. Here I think the Direwolf Alpha is the strongest card there. I don't really need the spell damage, and the one Merfolk thing isn't that great. Aha! So here we have to choose between the new Battle Rage or the Warsong Commander. So Battle Rage used to cost 3 mana and say draw a card for each damaged character. Now it says draw a card just for each friendly damaged character, and it only costs 2 mana. Playing with it, I have to say it's a lot worse than it looks. It is actually quite tricky, especially when you're behind, to get cards off this thing. So I'm not going to pass up another Warsong Commander. I do think that the nerf is quite significant. Alright, so we have some interesting cards here. I don't actually like Deathwing. It's a little bit too YOLO-y for my tastes. So you put all your wings in, or all your eggs in one basket, and if your opponent has Hex, Polymorph, Assassinate, or just can, even like 2 or 3 for 1 to kill it, you lose. Millhouse Mana Storm is a bit kooky, but I did lose a really crushing game earlier. My opponent played turn 1 Coin Millhouse, and I had no spells in my hand, so he's risky, but at least he's more playable than Deathwing, I think. We're going to go ahead and grab him up. Okay, well, we don't have any late game yet, so Stormwind Champion's about as fine a card as they come for that purpose. Silence is nice sometimes. I found this guy to be pretty good as well. You can charge in, deal 2 damage, but let's get 1 Silence in the deck here against Light Spawns and so forth. Ugh, I hate all these cards. We'll take the Young Priestess just as a 2-1 for 1. Tricky situation here. Mana Wraith is neat. I don't think it's as good as these. Now, Upgrade is a bit of a problem. I only have 10 picks left. There's no guarantee I'm going to see weapons, and a 1-3 weapon is pretty weak. We'll take the Imp Master here. She works really well with the Stormwind Champion. And if I'm lucky enough to get a Cult Master or a Frostwolf Warlord, that'll be good to have as well. Alright, Gorehowl is like a 1,000,000,000 to 1 card advantage, and it can also finish off your opponent, so we'll be happy to pick that up. Cool Taskmaster is neat, but let's get some card draw in the form of the Acolyte. Alright, well I guess we will take another Arathi Weaponsmith since like 20 picks later it's still the only 4-drop I have. Slam is fine and all, but we need some bodies there. Speaking of bodies, Gurubashi Berserker has a big one. Cult Master is really terrific. I have no luck with Rampage, it just doesn't seem to work for me very well, but Cult Master is great with the Imp Master and with the Razorfen Hunter, so with those synergies we're going to be happy to put him in. Korokron Elite's a great 4-drop. Amani Berserker is one of the best 2-drops. We're not really lacking, though, for things to play at 2 mana, so let's just actually play the Korokron Elite here for some charging action. And rather than the giant thingy-majigger or the giant brick, let's take the Divine Shield here and hope for some quality trades with my opponents. Yuck. Alright, well, I'll take the YOLO Bomber. Why not? So I never did get any weapons other than the Arathi Weaponsmith and the Gorehowl. Now, this guy is a beast with Gorehowl, but I think Whirlwind is nice to have. It's a good combo with Execute, and it does clear out Blood Imps and Paladin minions and some other annoyances that you might face. Ending with another Frothing Berserker is always good. That card is just absolutely insane. So overall, this draft is a bit weird. I didn't see any weapons, and no Fiery War Axes, no Arcanite Reapers, but I did get 2 Warsong Commanders and 2 Frothing Berserkers, and Frothing Berserker is a rare, so I really don't have too much room to complain. We're going to have to trudge along with some subpar removal up until we get up to Gorehowl, if we are even lucky enough to draw it, and then we'll hope that our Frothing Berserkers and other good creatures take over. Grot Kicka. I guess this guy kicks grots. Alright, we're going to keep both these cards around. This is actually a combo, because Imp Master takes a point of damage when it pops the Imp, and then the Frothing Berserker gets pumped for that. So, alright, this is 3-drop city here. Hopefully my opponent has a slow start, or else I might be in a bit of trouble. That's actually not too worrisome against really anything that I have. Okay, so let's armor up. In my last arena run, I actually faced a mage who played turn 1 Mana Worm, turn 2 Mana Worm, Coin, Arcane Missiles. They're both 3/3s, and I actually somehow won that game. So I won that game, but I still ended up losing the arena at 4 wins. It was just one of the most depressing arenas I've ever played. Alright, so it'd be nice to have the Frothing Berserker in play when this happens, but let's go ahead and preserve my life a little bit, and just trade out his Wind Fury guy with my quote-unquote removal card. The nice thing about the Frothing Berserker is that 4 toughness. It really allows it to survive against a lot of key things. Okay, so the Demolisher is pretty good in this situation. Don't really want to play Millhouse right now against a mage. So, what we're going to do is actually just drop the... Frothing Berserker is just too easily going to die, I think. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and play the Imp Master here. The Imps create a diversion for this Demolisher. And the Imp can actually trade against the Infiltrator pretty well. So that was my reasoning for dropping the little Knight Lady down. Overall, though, my opponent has definitely won this opening. I had a slow start, and I am absolutely paying for it. My opponent's capitalizing on it quite nicely. Secret. Alright, that could be, well, anything at this point. We need to try to do some damage control here. So let's, oh man, I don't want to play Frothing Berserker, because if that is what it is, it would be a total disaster. Let's actually just drop this guy down, see if it's Mirror Entity.
Ready, sir.
Okay, it's not Mirror Entity. We'll take a moment to kill that thing. Pass the turn, we're hanging in there. Hopefully the Demolisher doesn't hit my Squire. Alright, finishes off the Imp Master, that's fine. So it's not Mirror Entity, so next turn with some relative peace, I can drop down a couple of Frothing Berserkers, and if I have creatures left, we can start doing some trades. Alright, looks like he's going to trade the Sorcerer's Apprentice in for my Silverhand Knight. That suggests he has no Frostbolts, or else he probably would have used that. He's preserving his Demolisher here and playing a Jungle Panther. Jungle Panther's not the greatest thing here. There's nothing really great for it to kill. Actually, the Frothing Berserker is a pretty good thing to kill with a Jungle Panther. I take it all back. I take it all back. Alright. Slam cannot touch this. I could play the Warsong Commander and the Frothing Berserker. Run this guy in, finish it off with the Frother. Panther might trade against it. I could also play Millhouse, but we're getting to a bit of a dire situation here with Millhouse here. She could have just like a Flame Strike. Yeah, this is a dead card against mages. You just can't play it. Now I could slam this and finish it off with my dude. Yeah, we're gonna do that instead. We're gonna hold on to those war songs. Let's play the Frothing Berserker. Slam this, draw a card. Ah, counterspell. Okay. Well, that's fine. That is fine. What we're going to do is
If you insist.
deal the damage there while the damage can be dealt. Pass the turn. Alright, that was actually very lucky, hitting me rather than any of my creatures. So she can spend 2 mana to finish off the Squire. That's fine. Man, the real problem is that I don't have anything that survives Flame Strike at the moment. I didn't get my, you know, Gurubashi Berserker or anything like that. So this guy just kind of lives. And I can't overextend against Flame Strike. Okay, what is up with these Demolishers? This person really likes Demolisher, I guess. Leper Gnome. Okay, well at least that was a really weak turn here. Demolisher, Leper Gnome, I really don't care about that stuff too much. Kor'kon Elite's really good. Let's go ahead and drop it. Kill 1 Demolisher. And I'm actually not going to play anything just yet. I'm just going to armor up. So the 50-50 shot that the Kor'kon will die, and it did. But I didn't want to put down any more stuff and, you know, have these valuable creatures get hurt. I'd like to just really drop them all in a row if I can. Ah, well that definitely changes things a little bit. Oh boy. Direwolf Alpha. Alright, I think it's time to drop the Millhouse. And crap, I need to finish this thing off. I have to 2-for-1 against it, which is really sad. Alright, I think what I'll do... Oh, can I actually get up to 7? No, I can't get it up to 7. There's no way. I could do this. Both my War Songs would then be able to charge. It's only 6 damage. Ah, fuck. I have to use the Frothing Berserker. Shit. That is a disaster. Maybe, though, hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Maybe what we'll do instead is just kill off his other creatures. Like this. Pray to the Holy Lord Jesus that he doesn't have any Flame Strikes here. And then after his Ogre kills one of my things, I can kill the other thing with the Frothing Berserker. So keep in mind, my opponent's spells are free. Flame Strike would cost him 0 mana and kill everything, and I would lose the game. And that would be the beginning of this arena. I think if I don't get to 7 wins in this arena, I'm just never going to play Warrior again, because I've had 2 very unfortunate runs off camera with the Warrior. Ah, free Pyroblast. Well, that's pretty good. That's solid. That's alright, as far as things go. Well, at least my opponent didn't have Flame Strike, unless, you know, she's just slow rolling it like a bitch. What you got back here? Alright, so no Frostbolt or anything to finish me off. That's great. Okay, well, we have to kill all of his creatures. Everything I play has charge, though, which is kind of nice. Let's think. I'm going to do this. I'm going to kill the Taunter, because I have to. I am going to play this. And see, this is one I just played. This is one that's been around already, so I'm going to use the one I just played to damage the Ogre. Then I'm going to execute the Ogre. Make sure that we armor up. I'm going to send the Wolf in to kill the Sorcerer's Apprentice, because I'd like to keep my things charging. The damage I get from buffing the Frothing Berserker is bigger than the buff from the Wolf, and I'm going to hit for a lot. And pass the turn. So, Frostbolt, Fireball, another Pyroblast, charge creatures, lots of stuff would finish me off here. Motherfucking Christ, you really have a Reckless Rocketeer? Ah, Jesus. Well, that was an interesting game to start the arena, albeit a depressing one. As always, I'm going to play 2 games in this first video after doing the draft, and if you're having fun watching the arena, feel free to stay tuned. And come on back, as the rest of the videos will be coming in an upcoming video. Oh my god. Reckless Rocketeer. Of course, Millhouse Mana Storm was what made it all possible by giving her a free Pyroblast. That was stupendous. Let's see who we've got as our worthy opponent here in the second game. Paladin, alright. Ken Bomb 50. I don't know if he gets credit for having a good name or not. I mean, Bomb, that's cool, but Ken, Okay, let's actually just throw this back. It's a bit slow. This is good for early removal. This is good because it can kill out all of his minions anytime I want it to. Alright, Millhouse. Alright. We're going to hope he has no Hammers of Wrath. And I think I'm going to live the dream. I think I'm going to play turn 1 coin Millhouse. It worked for one of my opponents in another arena. Maybe it can work for me. So basically, actually Paladins would have a bit of a tough time. Even Hammer of Wrath only gets this down to 1 health. And weapons don't count as spells, so if he has a True Silver Champion, he can't actually do anything. So yeah, this could be really good. Let's see what he's got here. He can have like an Avenging Wrath, but I think that's actually an epic. So that would be unlikely. So he's looking at his spells here. Blessing of Kings. Touché, sir. Touché. I do not have enough mana to play Heroic Strike and Whirlwind. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to play this Taunter and try to keep Millhouse alive. That is the plan. So basically he can run in with his guy, get down to 3 health, and I can Heroic Strike and kill it. That is a 2-for-1, but he played a card as the Blessing of Kings and spent some time. Demolisher. What is it with these Demolishers? Oh, Lord. Okay. Looks like I'm going to get to live my plan, though, here. So that thing guy goes to 3 health. I now can play a Heroic Strike. Kill this. Millhouse can kill this. Whirlwind's pointless. Pass the turn. He's at 4 mana, so now is when he can have a Hammer of Wrath. That would finish off Millhouse. Or True Silver Champion. So all else being equal, I'd say that I lost this opening. Because I spent a coin. And I lost a card. So if he can kill off Millhouse, then I'm in trouble. If Millhouse can stay alive, then I'm okay. Then we're cool, Daddy-o. What's he got? Jungle Panther. Well, that will be able to kill Millhouse in a turn, but that turn is not yet. There is even a small chance that the Mad Bomber will kill this thing. I mean, it's tiny, but one good YOLO deserves another, am I right? No, that's dumb. That's really dumb. Actually, you know, it's not dumb because if I even hit it once, I'll know that Whirlwind can finish that Panther off. Okay, well, perfect. So let's swing with Millhouse here. Whirlwind to finish off the Panther. And again, the name of the game is Protect Millhouse. I'm now vulnerable to a Consecration that would just totally blow me out. But such is life. I think killing that Panther was worth it anyway, because the Panther could have killed Millhouse, and then Consecration finishes off the Mad Bomber at a later time regardless. This guy apparently has a bevy of options here. Harvest Golem, alright, fair enough. Not the worst thing in the world. Acolyte of Pain's pretty solid. I wish I could play the War Song and the Acolyte. Alas, that is not to be. Let's play the Acolyte, armor up, try to get some cards back into this Bias. And this Mad Bomber is about to die to the Silverhand Recruit, so let's get a little bit out of him and have him die to the Harvest Golem instead. I could use Millhouse actually to finish off this Recruit. That seems fine. Paladins don't really deal 1 damage, so let's take off a minion before this thing dies to the damaged Golem. I'd rather do that than deal 4 extra damage, since I'm not really in a kind of rushing position here. So actually, if he plays something big, I can run the Acolyte into it, draw a card, deal a point of damage, finish it off with Execute. It's not card disadvantage, which is good. If he plays more Recruits, I'll be happy to eat them with the Acolyte of Pain, so it discourages him from playing those Recruits, which is good of its own accord. Nightblade is a creature I'm ordinarily not too scared of, but at the moment is actually a bit of a problem, because I can't deal with it easily. Gorehelm, I'm a turn short. Well, let's see if this is Noble Sacrifice. So basically, if it's Noble, if I run in and it hits, I can execute, and that's fine. If I run in and it doesn't hit, then I'm fishing out a Noble Sacrifice. Although, why do that if I really want to hit the Noble Sacrifice? I might as well just swing at him. Yeah, I don't want to execute this. I really want to play this in Master. Okay, we're going to fish for the Noble Sacrifice this way. Damn it! The one time it's not Noble Sacrifice. Let's play this. It's not Humility either. It might actually be the Redemption card. The card that brings a creature back to life with 1 health. If it dies. I don't know what else it could be. It's not Humility. It's not Noble Sacrifice. It's not Eye for an Eye. Yeah, it's got to be that Redemption thingamabobber boober. It's going to reinforce. What's the follow-up plan? It's going to give minions +1 attack, which is actually not relevant at the moment. Swamp Ooze is also not relevant. Oh my god, that almost killed the Gorehowl. That would have been a little scary. Choosing to kill off my Imp Master rather than the Warsong Commander is an interesting choice, to say the least. You know, well, now I can execute this. Let's hold off on the Gorehowl here. Let's make sure that we do things right. First, we want this guy to be the one that is redeemed. So we're going to kill him. Draw a card. Heroic Strike, not bad. Yep, there it is. We're going to then execute the Nightblade, which has conveniently been damaged. We can play an Arathi Weaponsmith. I want to kill off the Ooze and the Raid Leader. Best way to do that is... Actually... Oh, Heroic Strike and the weapon are tied together. Ah, crap. Well, we're going to do this. That makes me vulnerable to Consecration. We're going to do this. Don't leave creatures alive for your opponent. I don't want to get this guy down to 2 health because then it dies to Consecration. So we're going to do this. Swing for 3 damage. Armor up past turn. Alright, now I have card advantage against my opponent. Consecration will leave this alive, which is good for me. Got the Gorehowl in my back pocket if I should need it, and Heroic Strike for some more removal. So things are looking pretty good. Frost Elemental. Ah, good play, sir. Good play. Reinforce. Okay. Well, this guy charges, but he was going to charge anyway. Heroic Strike would give me 6 attack, and I could kill the Frost Elemental. Well, that seems like a pretty good use of my time. Alright, let's go ahead and draw a card, because kids, you always want to draw cards first. Frothing Berserker. Ooh, a little late for that, but let's throw it down anyway. Heroic Strike. Swing. Armor up. Swing. And swing. Alright, next turn, if my opponent does not stop my creatures from attacking, I can finish him off with Gorehowl. The bell tolls for you. Alright, and there's the concession. So, starting off this arena with a bit of a rocky beginning, but I've had my fill of arenas that start really well and then end badly, so I'll take it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and or subscribe, and if you want to see the rest of the games, well, by golly, they're going to be coming up soon. We'll see you shortly.